So today we have such an exciting episode. For the first thing, we're making a recipe that was requested by one of our subscribers, and for the second thing, we're making a dish from a region in Spain that's considered to be one of the most beautiful in the country, El País Vasco, the Basque-Country. Anyways, the dish is Atun a la Vizcaina. This is basically Basque-style tuna with sauteed vegetables, and let me tell you, it's got the most beautiful flavors to it. It's a recipe that's so easy to make, and the best part, it's all done in just 20 minutes, folks. Serve this dish next to some roasted potatoes and a bottle of Spanish Tempranillo, but more specifically from the wine region of La Rioja, you're gonna have yourself an instant trip to beautiful España. Let's begin by getting our ingredients ready. I'm gonna thinly slice one red bell pepper. As you know, when I'm working with bell peppers, I like to cut around them, that way there's no seeds involved. And we'll do the exact same thing with one green bell pepper. Then we'll thinly slice one large onion, thinly slice 4 cloves of garlic, and we'll finely grate 2 tomatoes to end up with half a cup of tomato sauce, which is about 115 grams. You can substitute this for the same amount of canned tomato sauce or even passata. Alright, let's start cooking our dish. I'm gonna grab a large fry pan, heat it with a medium heat, and add in a generous 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which is about 35 milliliters. After about 1 minute, you don't want the olive oil to get too hot. I'm gonna add in all the chopped vegetables, except for the grated tomato. And we'll mix the vegetables around, that way they're all coated in that olive oil, and since we cut them into larger chunks, you don't have to mix this continuously, but make sure to get in there every minute or so, that way everything evenly sautés. After about 5 minutes, and the onion is nice and translucent and the rest of the vegetables lightly sauteed, you don't want to brown them, I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika, which is 2.5 grams, and quickly mix it together. As always, the Spanish paprika I'm using is from Kiva. You'll find a link where you can get some in the description box below, and if you buy it from that link, you'll also get 25% off your order. Then we'll add in the grated tomato, and season everything with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll give it a mix, that way everything is evenly mixed together, and then simmer it for a couple minutes. After about 3 minutes, and the tomato has slightly thickened up, I'm going to add in half a cup of white wine, which is 125 milliliters. You can substitute this for either a broth of your choice or even water with a little dash of lemon juice. But let me tell you, that white wine is what gives this dish that incredible depth of flavors. Then we'll lower the fire to a low heat, and we're going to simmer this on a low heat while we start cooking the tuna, that way all the flavors can develop. In the meantime, I'm going to heat a non-stick grilling pan with a medium heat. You can also use a regular pan here. Just make sure that it's non-stick, that way the tuna doesn't stick to the surface. While the pan is heating, I'm going to grab 2 tuna steaks, add them over some paper towels, and then pat them completely dry. Now the size of each steak is 7 ounces, which is about 200 grams, and I did buy the tuna frozen and thawed it out just to make things cheaper. Of course, you can totally use fresh tuna here, as well as any other type of firm fish. Then we'll drizzle the tuna steaks with a kiss of extra virgin olive oil, and rub the olive oil all over the tuna steaks, making sure to do it on both sides. And then we'll season the tuna steaks with a kiss of sea salt and some freshly cracked black pepper. Once again, you want to do this on both sides. Once the grilling pan is nice and hot, I'm going to add in the tuna steaks into the pan, making sure they're both in a single layer. And we're going to cook the tuna steaks for exactly 2 minutes per side. The thickness of each steak is 1 inch, which is 2.5 centimeters. Of course, if the ones you're using are a little bit thinner, go between 60 to 90 seconds per side. And if they're a little bit thicker, about 2.5 minutes per side. Either way, make sure not to overcook your tuna steaks, otherwise they can easily get an unpleasant tough texture. Once the tuna steaks are perfectly cooked, I'm going to remove them from the pan and transfer them over a wire rack. Okay, let's move back to the vegetables. They've been simmering on a low heat while we've been prepping and cooking that tuna. And as you can see, that white wine has really reduced and all the flavors have fully developed. At this point, this dish is ready to go. I'm gonna remove the pan from the heat, transfer some of the vegetables into a serving dish, add one of the tuna steaks over the vegetables, and we'll sprinkle it with some finely chopped fresh parsley. Check it out, our Atun a la Vizcaina is done. Basque-style tuna with sauteed vegetables. Super easy to make, came together in about 20 minutes, and it's truly one of the most flavorful dishes from Spain. Let's give it a try and see how it turned out. Once again, folks, Atun a la Vizcaina. Here we go. Absolutely delicious. First things first is those tuna steaks. They just melt in your mouth, and then all those vegetable flavors takes it to another level. You saw this, a classic dish from the north of Spain. So easy to make and comes together in about 20 minutes. Like I told you at the beginning, serve this tuna next to some roasted potatoes and a bottle of Spanish red wine from the region of La Rioja. You're gonna have yourself an instant trip to beautiful España. Real quick before I go, shout out to a couple of my patrons, Tandy Irvin, Paul Whitfield, Debbie Lee, Maria, and Dark Matter. Again, guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button as it really helps out the channel. Leave me a comment below, and don't forget to share this video with your family and friends. That way our Spain on a Fork community can continue to grow. Till the next time, hasta luego. Bevy out. Hasta luego.